is Spiffy Guy, and I'm out here in the woods. As you may have noticed from the previous clip, I'm out here geocaching. The sun is just coming up, it's almost 10. It's starting to peak above the trees. And here's the first geocache of the day. So just as a warning, if you live in the St. Charles, St. Peters, Missouri area, and you geocache, there may be a few spoilers. So take that warning as you can. I'm out here for a day. I got a bunch that I want to do, and I'm cruising along just a chat rock trail called the Hamburg Trail. I'll show you more on that in a little bit, so stick around. Many times you may have heard me refer to the radiological site as a reason that I don't eat wild edibles in this particular area of Welden Spring, and that's it. The giant mound. There's an interpretive center over there to tell you all about it. Cleanup effort. They got some steps, you can walk all the way up to the top, but essentially that is a large mound of concrete and lead on top of radiological material. Now, you can see over here, I don't know, let me try to focus in here, or zoom. These little yellow pylons that are set out there. You'll find these all over the property in this area. Those are observation wells to make sure that what is contained does not leak out and cause the zombie apocalypse. One can only hope that Umbrella has this under control. One can hope. So this prairie here, Welden Spring Prairie, or I believe it's referred to as the Howell Prairie, suffered contamination from the water runoff from the ordnance plant. That was an operation from 1941 through 66. And on the south side here, this was the drainage for all the water that went back there into the watershed. In '99, Department of Energy came through and they cleaned up this area, removed all the contaminated sediment, and put it all in the dome. And there's still trucks moving through here. As you head over in this direction, down the road is an Army Reserve area that is off limits. Don't know what they're doing down there, but supposedly it's not chemical weapons. I've heard rumors that there is silos down that direction, but I don't know how true that is. But I do see a lot of dump trucks moving back and forth on this road as I was walking, so they're obviously doing something. Many of the geocaches are hidden in just small pockets of trees or rocks, some sort of interesting feature, sometimes not anything at all. This particular geocache is next to an old cemetery. This is the Imon Cemetery. It's one of many cemeteries, very old cemeteries, that are found around this particular area. This area used to be all farmland before the government took it to build the chemical factory. So you'll find a lot of these small cemeteries, and we'll see a few more probably along the way. Well, the cache itself, I don't believe, is inside the cemetery. If you take a look here, if it'll focus up, it shows that it's 71 feet that way. I have a screen protector on and it got nicked up a little bit right here. A lot of times when you are looking for these caches, you can kind of tell where they are based upon the trails. Now I don't know if you can see this, but there is a trail that's right along here and back in between those two trees. With the leaf litter, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. If you have mad tracking skills like Adam, then it should be really easy. But we'll cruise down through here, and I see some hollow logs over there, and I'm guessing that our cache is in there. Let's sign the logbook and go on to the next one. Mark it found. Many times your GPS unit, depending upon the kind that you have, will have the option to download directly from geocaching.com if you have the premium membership. So sometimes it's easier just to do that, so you have the logs with you for some of those harder to find caches. It's nice to look at the logs. I've had some where I couldn't find it, so I looked at the logs real quick, and a lot of people complained that the coordinates were off or something like that. So it makes it a lot easier. You could always plan out the areas that you're going to go. Sign up for a premium membership for a couple months. I think they have a 3-month option, and then download all of those to your GPS unit, and that way you're not paying the full year, and you load up your GPS before you head out. That's kind of what I did. And so as new ones appear, I just kind of keep track of them, and then I'll sign up for the premium again, download a bunch. So we're gonna head on out. You can see all this green stuff, I don't know, right here, and all these branches. Those are all, I believe, honeysuckle bush, and they're just nothing but stickers. They like to grab hold of you and pull you in. So there was a trail over here, a little hunting trail. So we'll go back to find that and head on to the next one. This is the former location of a town of Howell, Missouri. This is the Tunerville Y, as it became called, because it was a gas station, I believe, right back in there, and it became known as the Tunerville Station, as historical marker number 4 tells us on the Hamburg Trail. Now, just to give you an idea of where this trail comes from, let's come down here on the map. Now, I've done some videos up here. This is the bush wildlife. That's where the bunkers are, and it actually follows along, and right here, not listed, is the Howell Cemetery. Now, a couple days ago I went out geocaching, and I did this area up here, so to the north and the east of the big mound, which is right here. I managed to find all of them except the one actually in the cemetery. I didn't find that one. But the Hamburg Trail actually goes all the way down and then connects up to Katy Trail, which is right here, and the river's down there. I don't know if we'll make it that far today, but we are right here. There's Tunerville, and you can see where the big mound is, so we'll cruise over here. Now in this area over here, there's a parking lot on the other side of the Highway 94, and that is where the Lewis and Clark Trail is. I do a lot of hiking on those two trails, and the Lewis comes around here, and then the Clark goes this way and the Lewis goes that way, and they just kind of come up in the middle there. But we're going to keep cruising down this way. We just found one back in the woods over there that you saw, and we're going to move on down this way. I know there's a cemetery coming up as well, so stick around. This road right here leads to what was known as Mechanical City, which was a group of buildings and such to support the ordnance works. They had, like, you know, pipe fitting rooms and sheet metal shops and things like that, and it operated between 40 and 41. And there's no real buildings left, but there is supposed to be some raised structures, so I might have to head down that direction to see if we can't find those particular structures. All the buildings were made of wood, and apparently they were demolished in the late 60s. So there you go. That is the information for historical marker number 5. And somewhere around here is another cat. There it is. Well, this is the area that the map showed that it's a possible location for that Mechanics City. This area is flat, but it's pretty overgrown. I haven't seen any concrete slabs. Now this area is the Lost Valley Trail area. I've done videos on that, and you've seen a lot of the, if you watch that video, you'll see a lot of the structures still left, old railroad ties and fire plugs and roads and things like that. So, and there's all kinds of things back in the woods in this area. I don't know if I'll find anything. But, you know, there's a lot of these pricker bushes everywhere, which is one of the reasons why I got the gaiters on. Not to mention, there's this tree, black locust. Even probably maybe poison ivy. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. There's a little creek back here. This area will probably be pretty good for deer hunting. I just saw 3 take up off that hill over there, and firearm season starts next week, so I would probably not have ventured into the woods had it been firearm season. No reason to scare the deer off, tick off the hunters, and get shot. That would be bad. So we're gonna head back up to the Hamburg, I think, and see if we can't find some more caches. So we've been following this the Lost Valley Trail. This is the eastern section of it, and it's getting us towards our next geocache, which is at the John Murdoch, aka Kincaid Cemetery. It is actually up probably on top of that ridge. I don't know if you can see into the trees there, but I'm looking on the topographical maps, which don't really show up well with the camera, but I can see that the terrain down here is going to get a lot steeper. So I need to make a break into the woods. This geocache is pretty much halfway between this trail and the Hamburg Trail, so I might as well just go straight up here as opposed to going all the way back around on the trail. So find your best option, probably a deer trail. Looks like there's a little one here, and we'll head up that way and see if we can't find this cache. This area is a hunting area. And I found on the ground an arrow. Guessing that's a bird point, I think. Not sure. Maybe somebody was hunting turkey. It's a carbon hunter from Cabela's. I'll take this with me. If this is indeed carbon, which it says it is, then I could use this to make some hammock toggles. Maybe they'll be lighter. Who knows? Cemetery's that way. Let's keep going. You can see this area is just ripe with these pricker bushes all over the place. This is not an area where you want to come in with nice nylon pants and an ultralight backpack. You want something heavy like canvas. That's why this Duluth day pack I have is so great, because I can walk through it and I don't have to worry about it getting ripped on any of these trees, these low-hanging branches, or any of these pricker bushes. They just seem to grab hold of you and they don't want to let go. I gotta go underneath this little crossing. But we're heading up there. The terrain is still steep, but it's a lot easier than the other direction. You wouldn't know it was here unless you were looking for it. There's a small fence around it, but tucked in beneath all this undergrowth is the cemetery. This is the Kincaid Cemetery, 1807 to 1880. Very pretty place. Some smaller headstones all buried beneath these leaves and undergrowth, trees. I wonder if the family comes out with any sort of painting. But there is a cache around here somewhere. And so we'll have to take a look at it here at the John Murdoch, also known as the Kincaid Cemetery. And there it is, just on the outskirts, right next to is that poison ivy? Who knows? So I've been to this cemetery before, just didn't remember it, but the area I remember now. I was out on a land navigation course with the Department of Conservation, and they take you to these cemeteries out here. They start at the Maids Cemetery, which we'll probably get to, and then they come out to this one. Basically, it's a pretty simple course. You should definitely check out your local conservation department and see if they have any land navigation courses. You can definitely find some neat areas. So I've got to navigate this bush and head over back towards the Hamburg Trail. So stick with me. Well, I do believe that these big green fruit are what's known as Osage orange. As you can see, they are very, very large in size, and if I remember correct, they are edible. The interior, there's a bunch of seeds, and I'll crack one of these things open here in a sec. There's a bunch of seeds, and you can eat the seeds, but you have to clean them out of the membrane, the mucus that's in there. So, and apparently that's a pain in the butt. But the squirrels like it, and I believe you could also use this, use the wood to make decent bows. It's a pretty cool tree. I mean, I've seen them before, but never really up close, so it's kind of neat. There's tons of fruit all over the ground. Let's crack one open. Alright, so I didn't want to mess up my my knife. I wasn't sure what was going to be in here. So figured I'd get a rock. It's definitely soft. Well, that's what it looks like on the inside. It smells a little citrusy, but not too much. I'm not sure if the seeds are located in these little strips, but that is I believe an Osage orange, kind of milky on the inside. Anyway, you guys know some good stuff to do with this, let me know. I noticed something kind of weird when I was looking for a rock, and hopefully this will get into focus here. It's this black shiny stuff right here on this tree, and it's hard, kind of like plastic, and it does come off. It's like a sap of some sort. I thought it was a bug at first. And you can see like this leaf is stuck to it. It's definitely a sap. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is. It might be a young locust. I don't know if locusts will sap when they're young, but there's a couple locusts over there. You can see there's more right here on the tree, and here's a bruise mark, and there's a little bit of drip coming down. So I'm guessing these are wounds to the tree, perhaps bugs, and that's sap. There's another tree over here with a lot of it towards the bottom. I don't know what that is. I wonder if you could use it like pine pitch. I don't know. There's a lot of locusts in here, so maybe that's a young locust tree. I don't know. I don't recognize the bark, and there's no leaves for me to check. So let me know what you think on this one. That's definitely strange, but I'm sure there's some sort of use for it. We got more geocaches to find. See a field of pokeweed right here. Lots of it growing in over here. There was corn in this last year. This is the Mady's cemetery. This one has a few larger headstones, lots of small ones. There is a cache located behind the cemetery, but I've already got that one, so I don't need to get it again. And this says, it's difficult to read. Let's see, 1810 to 1865. George Mady's. It's a long time ago. The Howell Cemetery, which is right off the highway, pardon the truck, still close to the highway. The Howell Cemetery has Thomas Howell in it, and he was a veteran of the War of 1812. So I think that was I think I want to say 1780 something is when it was he was born, but I'm not quite sure. So it's pretty interesting back here. This is an old bird's nest. You needed to make a fire. That's an actual bird's nest. Go figure. The cache is back over there, like I said. And I don't think we'll see any more cemeteries on this trip. So I got one more cache I think I'm gonna look for, and then I'll probably pack it in for the day. So stick around. That's the last one. And a big trunk. Well, there's a parking lot up here, so this will be the parking lot that I park next time when I continue down the Hamburg Trail to do the lower half down there. Just to kind of give you an idea where we're at. You can see that we're down here, and that's where the town of Hamburg was. And we've basically traveled from about here all the way down, and this is the big mound of radioactive stuff. So we're here, and then next time I'll park here and continue on down towards the Kitty Trail, and let's see what else I can find. So this particular area, though, with Hamburg, was founded by German immigrants in about 1840. And it was 1940, about 100 years later, when the government came in and took their land to build the ordnance plant. And they only gave them 3 months notification to get out of their homes and move on out after they had been living there for a century. So it's rather unfortunate that things like that happen. I want to thank you for watching the video. It's been a lot of fun. It's a beautiful day, and it's a good time to get out. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and geocaching is a fun way and a good excuse to go to areas that you've never been and tromp around looking for stuff. And on this particular adventure, I found a lot of neat stuff and been to a couple of different areas that I had never been before. I love seeing those old cemeteries. It's very cool. And the history of this area is pretty neat, despite the fact that there's a large radioactive dome of material nearby. So why don't you check out geocaching.com if you have a GPS, and get outside and find some caches, because it is a lot of fun. And until next time, take care. Wait for the truck, wait for the truck, wait for the truck. You suck.